that self-care can be done and practiced in many different ways. So for some of us, it means meditating. For others, it means exercising, maybe setting goals and working toward achieving those goals. Whatever it is that makes you happy and focus on taking care of yourself. So in these pictures, you can see some of the different things that people at my house do to practice self-care. So playing the guitar, reading books, playing video games, of course, that's my 13-year-old son, playing with our dog, going on walks. And that's some of our self-care too, is just hanging out with each other. So we've taught our kids how to play spades. We play gin, we play board games. So that's another way to practice self-care.
One of the most important lessons I've learned about self-care over time is that self-care is putting your well-being first. For me, it means making sure that before I do anything for anyone else, I do the things that I need to do that will make me feel good and will set me up for a good day.
What am I doing in these pandemic times? Well, mostly I'm working on my research. I work on internal combustion engines, and the rest of the time... Nessie here. Nessie here. I have a very needy golden retriever.
One of my favorite things to do for self-care is to go outside and hike. In any city like Austin or pretty much anywhere, you can find a lot of trails and green belts where you can just explore and get lost in your thoughts and see what nature has to offer.
My tip for staying healthy is to be creative, make things. And for me, that means coding. And so here's something that I did for fun. I made an application to be able to fit the tires to my Jeep. These were the previous tires that I had, and I was able to, with this application, be able to make choices on the tires and on the lift of my Jeep, and now my Jeep will not fit in the garage.
My son is in college in Boston. He is about the age of many of you, and he was concerned that we, the parents, were doing little to no exercise during this pandemic, and he was right. So to his insistence, we started a routine, and the beginning was really rough, but I even got better at it. And interestingly, he tells me that this became an important component of his regular exercise.
I have meditated every day for the past 22 years. This practice helps me stay calm and focused, especially during difficult times, and it helps me stay in the present. What I love about my practice is that I can do it anywhere. All I need is a chair and 20 minutes of my time.
I really miss being around my coworkers and all the wonderful students that come into engineering student services. I get really lonely. So to stay in touch and to catch up on the day's activities, we like to ride our bikes together.
Yeah, these virtual meetups help get physical activity in the day, and they help keep us connected.
When you want to relax, turn on the music and put on your dancing moves. So let's go for it.
First and most importantly, I make my bed every morning. That way, even if I do nothing else, I've at least accomplished something. I go biking. I do CrossFit. I go hiking with my family. And I try to read every night before bed.
Certainly pets are fantastic, especially a dwarf hamster, really easy to hand off if you're traveling for the weekend and probably allowed under your apartment contracts. Getting outside every day, hopefully a couple times a day at least, and taking walks, ideally with friends or playing tennis against the wall with yourself, biking somewhere, and having a glass of cold iced tea every day. That's something I look forward to. I make it the night before, it's all ready to go. I also have aerobic and yoga routines that I've learned from YouTube videos that I really like to practice, usually while I'm watching Netflix, but you can do it in a hotel room or wherever you are in the world for the rest of your life. And then, of course, making sure to see other people. I get to see my family every day and a fabulous dog and a hamster, but I also make time every Saturday to see friends out on the patio at 6-foot distance for a couple hours. It makes a big difference.
One of the things I do is, shown behind you here, is work on projects where I'm building things. I grew up with a dad who built houses and built roads, and so this is actually my summer project, building a deck. Let me show you how that ended up. It's not completely finished yet, but it's pretty close. So here you go, you can see the final product. So these sorts of hands-on building things can be very great stress relievers.
I follow the age-old advice of control the things you can and don't worry about the things that you can't. What I do to follow that is a simple trick. I use a to-do list. I use an app called Todoist. Shout out to the Todoist guys. It's a free app. And I put down everything on it. So it does two things. It gives me a sense of control over at least some aspects of my life. And it gives me a great sense of satisfaction to check the done box.
I know it's been tough with this whole COVID stuff, being stuck in your apartment, or even worse, stuck home with your parents. But you can always go out, take some relaxation. This helps me a lot. Go find a disc golf course, throw some plastic.
Recently, our department did an online coloring event while under quarantine. Here's an example of one of the designs I colored myself. In managing my mental health, I've discovered that coloring has many benefits. Personally, I find it relaxing and thereby it reduces stress and anxiety for me. Coloring can even improve things like vision, focus, and sleep.
So I decided to volunteer with an organization to take a conference that was going to be held on site but had to be canceled. So I took this conference online and had about 600 people attend. So it was a lot of work, but during March, April, May, when we were all feeling so isolated, it really helped me because I talked to a lot of people and volunteered to do a lot of things, and then we even met with a lot of people online. So I felt like I was really a part of something. So that's a good tip for staying engaged and active, is to volunteer and do something for the community.
I really like to go on what I call walk and talks, and that's where you call someone and then go for a walk and talk with them. It's a really great way, I think, to stay active and stay connected while we're in this virtual space.
Another thing that's critical for my self-care and mental wellness is disconnecting from social media and disconnecting from technology for a little bit every day. I oftentimes don't realize how draining it is to be constantly present and to be multitasking most of the day until I stop and take a break. Putting my phone down and going on a short walk outside, or sitting down and reading a book and just focusing on one thing can be tremendously helpful and allowing me to be more present later on and manage my stress throughout the day.
Stay safe, have a great semester, and hook 'em.